Good morning. We're expecting a big update today regarding the case of an LMPD officer who was shot in the line of duty. That body camera video expected to be released later today. Olivia Russell live with the latest. A Louisville restaurant went up in flames last week. 4-alarm fire. We now know more about the future of that building. And ooh, yeah, what is that smell? And it comes just as so many people are coming to this city for louder than life. But it's those of us who live here really sick and tired of dealing with it. What you can do to help freshen things up.
This is Wave News Sunrise.
Yeah, there's actually an app you can get that's called Smell My City, and it's pretty interesting. It shows all the areas where it's really stinky, and yeah.
I smelled it this past weekend. It actually infiltrated the walls of the station. I walked in the hallway and I was like, what is that smell? What is? I think everyone's saying that, but hopefully they get that solved here soon.
Well, we just need some rain.
Yes.
But we don't have any.
We do not, especially not before this weekend. All the events happening. Again, it's just not going to be it's just going to be a dry forecast, dry and hot, so not ideal, but maybe for those concert goers it will be. But temperatures right now this morning are sitting anywhere from the mid-50s in the city to the low 60s, even the 40s though for places like Sellersburg this morning. Good morning to you. 49 degrees there, 51 in the Knobs, 54 in New Albany, 53 from Shively to PRP and into Fairdale, 59 in Fern Creek, 56 in St. Regis Park, 55 in Bowman Field, and 61 degrees at the airport and also here in downtown Louisville at the Wade Weather Garden. So as you're heading out the door this morning, you probably want the jacket. We're going to be expecting to stay clear and cool over the course of the next couple of hours, and also dry. Dry is going to be the big story as we head into the weekend, truly. So for the rest of today, we'll see temperatures approach the mid-80s. It's going to be noticeably warmer compared to the last couple of days, so you'll want the jacket. We'll also see some sunshine, too. The clouds will gradually thicken up through the rest of today, but all in all, it's going to be a dry, pleasant day, just a little on the warm side, feeling a little more summer-like as we head into this afternoon. That's a check of your forecast. Let's get a quick check of the roadways, and so far, so good. Things are nice and quiet. We'll likely start to see traffic pick up over the course of the next couple of hours, but no major delays or crashes to report this time. But if that changes, we will let you know. Shannon.
Thanks, Jessica. It's been almost 2 weeks now since an LMPD officer was shot in the line of duty while performing a traffic stop in the early morning hours. It happened in the Chickasaw neighborhood September 7th. Officer Brandon Haley was shot and is still recovering. But later today, police are expected to release body camera footage from that incident. And Wave News reporter Olivia Russell live this morning with more on the case and where things stand now. Good morning, Olivia.
Good morning, Shannon. 2 weeks ago, Chief Jacqueline Gwen Baylor-Rowell told us that the entire incident was caught on the officer's body cameras, starting with the traffic stop and then showing that shooting that sent Officer Brandon Haley to the hospital. This all happened around 2:30 in the morning at 40th Street and West Kentucky. That's in the Chickasaw neighborhood. Officer Haley was conducting a traffic stop when multiple shots were fired from a nearby home. Officer Haley and a supporting officer were able to get away while LMPD and SWAT responded to the house. After several hours, 4 people were finally arrested from that house. Dominique Edward Thompson Jr., Quantez Porter, Jamon Groves Jr., and Jaquan Ransom. They're all facing gun and drug charges, but no one has been charged with actually shooting the officer. Now, as for Officer Haley, the last update was a week ago. He's now off the ventilator and able to stand with some assistance. We're hoping to get another update on his condition later today. Plus, we expect to learn more about protocol for officer-involved shootings from LMPD. Live in Louisville, Olivia Russell, Wave News.
Thank you, Olivia. Now, new on Sunrise, a southern Indiana community is remembering a teenager who was killed in a rollover crash over the weekend. Police say 15-year-old Marty Storms was driving a pickup truck when he lost control off South Becks Mill Road in Fredericksburg Saturday. Storms and another teenage passenger were taken to the hospital. Storms died. The other teen is expected to survive. Storms was a student at West Washington High School, where school officials say he was well known and loved by everyone. A Louisville man is charged with stealing an SUV and causing a crash that killed an Oldham County 5th grader. Our Wave troubleshooters learned that man had just been released from jail last month. Prosecutors tried to send Timotheus Walter to prison after he was arrested 3 times for having a stolen car and running from police. The most recent time was in June in Old Louisville. He was released from jail after a grand jury decided not to indict him for that incident. Walter is charged with murder after police say he sped off from them, causing a crash that killed 10-year-old Jake Luxemburger on I-71 this weekend. Jake was in an SUV that was being driven by his grandmother. Now, we reached out to KSP regarding their pursuit policy. They said troopers act with due regard to public safety during pursuits, and a supervisor monitors the pursuit, and they can tell them to continue or stop it based on information. A GoFundMe has been set up to cover funeral costs and expenses for Jake's family. It has raised nearly $36,000. We do have a link to that fundraiser on wave3.com. A man is dead after a motorcycle crash on Newburgh Road. It happened about 6:40 last night on the section of Newburgh that goes over the Watterson Expressway. Police say the victim lost control of the motorcycle and was thrown from the bike. No other vehicles were involved. The name of the man killed has not been released. But across the state, Kentucky's been seeing a rise in the number of motorcycle-involved crashes. AAA is reporting more than 1,300 so far this year. Officials say one of the most important things at play here, visibility. Distracted drivers may not notice a motorcyclist moving quickly in traffic, and bikers say it's important to be aware of what road conditions could impact their safety.
That's another reason to be aware so that you are paying attention to the road conditions ahead, so that you can avoid the pothole, you can slow down, change lanes safely.
AAA says if you add in mopeds and scooters, the rate of crashes jumps even higher to more than 1,400. Police have now arrested 2 people in connection to the murder of a woman in Spencer County. Kimberly Walton and Edith Weddy, both from Cincinnati, are being held in Ohio. They're charged with 1 count of murder each. 35-year-old Christina Angel Walker was found dead in May inside a burning home on Chapman Road in Spencer County. KSP ruled it was a homicide. A Japanese restaurant in downtown Louisville is now set to be torn down. We brought you that video of that 4-alarm fire as a breaking news alert on Sunrise last week. The city has now posted a notice of demolition on the building that housed the restaurant Osaka. The order says the building is unsafe and no one should enter it. The 5-story commercial building is on West Market Street. Arson investigators are still trying to determine the cause of the fire. A Metro Corrections officer is recovering after inhaling vapor from a lithium-ion battery. LMDC says it happened after an inmate intentionally broke a digital tablet yesterday morning. The officer inhaled vapor from the broken battery and got sick. The officer was taken to the hospital and released. No other jail staff reported symptoms. 2 inmates have received administrative discipline and criminal charges are being considered. Drugs smuggled into jail has been an ongoing issue at Louisville Metro Department of Corrections, and now city leaders are investing in ways to stop overdoses. LMDC added Narcan vending machines for inmates to use before they leave the jail. Officials say in the first 2 weeks inmates are released, they are 40 times more likely to overdose. Narcan is already available in the housing units, and officers carry it too. Jail officials hope this can help in the ongoing crisis.
We do not see an increase in substance use associated with Narcan distribution. What we do see is a decrease in fatal overdoses. So the numbers are really clear. This is something that reduces deaths in our community.
Jail officials say so far with the harm reduction program and access to Narcan, inmates have saved 24 lives. Meteorologist Jessica Dobson taking a look at your Wednesday weather.
Yeah, it's going to be a day where we see some filtered sunshine at times, but temperatures are going to be heating up. So something to keep in mind, although it's cool to start this morning, you want to make sure you have some water. And if you have the jacket this morning, which I do recommend, and make sure you can shed it by later on this afternoon, because you'll want the short sleeves and shorts by later on today, because we do expect a high of 86 degrees by this afternoon. It's going to feel a lot more like summer, and it won't even be the hottest day of the week. I'll talk about just how hot we get before the weekend coming up in my full forecast in just a couple of minutes. Shannon?
Thanks, Jessica. A traditional Christmas Louisville event getting a shake-up to the day it's traditionally held. We'll tell you why. Also, if you're maybe not ready to think about Christmas just yet, Kentucky Kingdom offering some spooky events. What those are, coming up this morning on Wave News Sunrise.
This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. There's only one. This is Wave News Sunrise.
Well, this is a big change for a long-standing holiday event in Louisville. This year's Light Up Louisville won't happen on the day after Thanksgiving. Instead, it'll happen on Saturday, December 2nd, 8 days after Black Friday. That's according to a social media post by Louisville Metro Special Events. This will be Mayor Craig Greenberg's first chance to light the city's Christmas tree. We reached out to the mayor's office to find out why they changed the date this year, and they say the new date will allow city employees to enjoy Thanksgiving Day with their families and not have to worry about setting things up for that event. Well, if your mind is on fall, don't worry. Lots of things going on to get you in the spirit of Halloween. Starting Saturday, September 30th, which is right around the corner, Kentucky Kingdom's going to welcome guests into the magical world of pumpkins. It's happening every weekend in October. Wow, you have the chance to see more than 1,000 illuminated pumpkins, displays, rides, and buildings. They're also offering fall-themed food. I don't know. I guess corn on the cob, that's fall, right? Or is that summer? I don't know. Activities and more. And new this year, guests will have the opportunity to sample 3 limited-time fall menu items at a discounted rate. It's part of the tasting passport that you can buy online at KentuckyKingdom.com. Also, season pass holders can experience the fall magic early with a sneak peek on September 29th. And a big tradition every fall across the country, looking at all those gorgeous fall colors. But there's people who live in one Vermont town known for this shot right here. So many people have been going there to take a picture there, and they are just getting fed up. It's a very small town, Pomfret, home to Sleepy Hollow Farm, which has gained a big reputation. People say it's so perfect for Instagram photos, but neighbors say people are driving them crazy. They called the leaf peepers who go each fall. Problems are clogging up roads and causing massive headaches.
Oh, they block my driveway. They come in and park here. They go into my garden house and look for a bathroom.
There's posted signs all over these properties. It's private property, and Billings Farm is right down the road. You know, you could support local business and get the same effect.
There's no parking. There's no facilities. We got people going to the bathroom on the side of the road.
Crazy. Officials say they're going to shut down the main roads in and out for 3 weeks during peak viewing season, so you won't be able to get there now for a picture. They're also telling the influencers on social media, hey, roads are closed, so go find somewhere else to take a picture in Vermont. Apparently, it's that one spot that's so good, and people have even gone bringing dressing rooms, changing into various outfits to take a picture there. I mean, yeah, crazy stuff. People trying to get that good shot for social media.
I guess so. That's hilarious, honestly. But I mean, very real problems, I'm sure. But we're wanting the rain, though. I will say that because we want the rain to help our leaves change colors and to be more vibrant. We don't want it to be too dry because that's when they kind of turn brown and just fall off. So we want the rain so that way it can help to make for a very vibrant change of colors with the leaves here in Wave Country, at least. But let's talk about the countdown for the upcoming holidays while it's on our brains. But Halloween only 41 days away, so you better get those costumes ready. We set the clocks back 46 days from now, and then winter's only 92, Christmas less than 100, 96 days away. So even though it's not going to feel very much like fall today, we're starting to get more into the swing of things, whether or not the forecast cooperates. So 61 degrees right now in the city. You'll want the jacket this morning, especially for areas outside of Louisville, the more rural areas. It's going to be a little cooler out there, but I will say it's going to be a quiet and warm week. We're going to be expecting temperatures to continue to heat up from here on out. We're going to be hot and dry. Temperatures approaching the 90-degree mark with this last stretch of summer we have, because Saturday is the official start of fall, technically, but it's not going to feel like it by any means. We do, though, see some relief from the heat. That's going to arrive as we head into this upcoming week, or next week, rather, and that's where we expect our next round of rain. A cold front's going to move into the area, and that's going to help to give us some of that much-needed beneficial rain to our area. But let's go ahead and bring you outside. Here's a live view from Bardstown, where you can see a couple of people out on the roadways so far this morning as we get your morning going. And let's talk about the forecast, too, heading into tomorrow and Friday. We talked about temperatures warming up, and they are going to, in a big way, almost 10 degrees above average for what we typically see for this time of year. 86 tomorrow, so kind of a rinse and repeat forecast for our Thursday. Friday, though, high of 88 degrees, and that will likely be the hottest day of this upcoming week. But hey, the weekend forecast, if you're going to be heading out to L&M Stadium, we're going to be expecting a hot one, but lots of sunshine. So just make sure you're wearing the sunscreen if you're going to be heading out to Louisville's UVL's home opener as they take on Boston College. So it should be a really fun and exciting game. And then we also have Louder Than Life just up the road. Temperatures, again, going to be on the hot side for Friday especially, but we're going to be staying rain-free more than likely. The system that we've been tracking has really slowed down, but by Sunday, high of 86 degrees. So we do see some of those clouds begin to build in, and I think that's really what's going to help in terms of temperatures not feeling as unbearable as they could with those mid to upper 80s expected. So dry weather is expected again through at least about Sunday. Monday is going to be mostly dry as well if this delayed trend, the slowing down trend of this area of low pressure continues. It's not until like Monday night and into early Tuesday that we start to see our next round of rain arrive. We really need the rain for several reasons, but we do expect some scattered showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder as we get closer to our Wednesday. That's going to be of next week. So we're hoping to get some beneficial rain, but hopefully not too much over too short of a period of time, of course. Shannon.
Thanks, Jessica. So while the auto workers in our area were not a part of the initial targeted strikes for UAW, they are just a message away from joining the picket lines when a new round of strikers may be joining in. That's coming up.
Here's a look at the current Kentucky Lottery jackpots. The Kentucky Lottery, over $4.8 billion in grants and scholarships.
Good morning. It's 6:21, and a man accused of beating and choking his stepfather to death in Southwest Louisville is expected in court. 30-year-old Jalen Forrest is charged with domestic violence murder. LMPD was called to a house on Broadleaf Drive Monday afternoon. It started as a trouble call from a neighbor who responded to a man screaming, quote, "Jalen, get off me." LMPD went to the apartment. They found a man on the living room floor with several injuries. He died. The coroner says the man had fractured ribs, a broken jaw, and had been strangled. The coroner has not released the victim's name. A woman accused of threatening to kill a mother and her child on Lindell Avenue has now been arrested. Erica Stivers is charged with terroristic threatening and wanton endangerment. An arrest report says she was in a fight with another woman when she pointed a gun at the victim and her child and said, "You and your child can join my child in heaven." She pleaded not guilty in court. A judge set her bond at $25,000. A man accused of crashing his car and leaving the scene with his 2 children is charged with driving under the influence and wanton endangerment. An arrest report says Bobby Wilson crashed his car into a utility pole at the intersection of 13th and Algonquin on Sunday. The pole landed on the back seat of the car. Wilson was found 3 blocks away from the scene with his 2 children, who police say were in the car when it crashed. Police say Wilson smelled of alcohol and had trouble standing. His next court date is set for September 27th. His bond was set at $2,000. All right, I know we all smell it, right? You walk outside many areas and, ooh, yeah, that stinky smell smells like rotten eggs, kind of. MSD crews are putting in some double shifts right now, trying to fix the situation. It's all because of a lack of rain, creating this stinky issue. MSD crews are working 16-hour shifts right now. Yuck. It's cleaning out, flushing out, deodorizing some of the sewers in the area. MSD reports more than 100 complaints were called in just over the weekend. So there's this app you can check out. It is called Smell My City. You can make and track complaints about all those bad odors. Some residents complain on the app. Sewage odors are so bad that they're getting headaches. It's making them sick. The app is collecting data, and it could make the future smell better.
It's very important a tool for us right now because we're working on building a master plan for odor issues, and data like this will inform that plan.
So what do we really need to fix this? We need rain, because that rainwater would then flush out the pipes and keep all that nasty stuff from settling in and really stinking up the area. Maybe they will fix this a little bit before Louder Than Life. Can you imagine you come into town for this great 4-day festival and you can't breathe?
It looked like they had the little scent beads they were pouring into the sewers.
Like what you put in your dryer.
Yes, yes. Yeah. So hopefully that works. I mean, we don't want a smelly city, and unfortunately we are not going to have rain before this weekend. And I know that probably seems like a good thing for many people who have plans this weekend, which, don't get me wrong, it is. is, but we need the rain still for several reasons. Again, it's going to be hot and dry, though, through the weekend. Temperatures warming into the mid and upper 80s as we get closer to your Friday. So 88 degrees. It's going to be the hottest day of the next 10. 87 by Saturday. Plenty of sunshine. That is the official start of fall. The fall equinox, that is. 87 degrees, sunshine. It'll be a nice day to be outside, but it's going to be a day where it's going to be you're breaking a bit of a sweat. You'll want to wear the sunscreen. By Sunday, a high of 86. And then finally, Monday night and into Tuesday, we see those shower chances move back in. So 30% chance right now for Tuesday and Wednesday. Hopefully, we can see those numbers go up a little bit more, but we're just kind of fine-tuning the forecast right now and the timing of these showers. So far, they look pretty scattered, but temperatures will be cooler too. Highs into the mid-70s for both Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, and we start to see more seasonal average highs as we get closer towards the end of next week. Shannon?
Thanks, Jessica. The United Auto Workers Union now saying it will expand its strike if it does not see progress in contract negotiations with the country's top automakers. The UAW president says major strides need to be made by the end of this Friday. Right now, certain workers at 3 Ford, GM, and Stellantis plants are on the picket line. The union didn't say where the strike would expand or if the Louisville Ford plant was an option for that. The union is asking for higher pay, a shorter work week, among other benefits. Jobs in the clean energy industry are continuing to skyrocket as Indiana continues its transition to cleaner energy sources and away from coal. Our partners at the News and Tribune report the number of clean energy jobs in Indiana grew to more than 88,000 last year. More than 200 clean energy projects were announced by companies in the first year since the Inflation Reduction Act. 7 of those projects are in Indiana. Those projects helped add tens of thousands of clean energy jobs, which now account for 31% of all energy jobs in Indiana. The Hoosier State now ranks 12th in the country for the number of clean energy jobs. New trauma-trained mental health counselors will be available all across Louisville. The counselors will be present at all neighborhood places. Anyone living in Louisville who is traumatized by community or domestic violence can now get free walk-in assistance or also quick scheduling for some mental health services. The expansion also includes language services to help remove another barrier in getting help. La Casita will be given a grant to help expand culturally specific trauma services in the Latin and immigrant communities. It's 6:27, and it's been nearly 2 weeks since an LMPD officer was shot while conducting a traffic stop, and now we know that body cam footage from that will be released later today. Olivia Russell out live with the latest. Plus, new census data shows child poverty increased this year, almost doubling compared to 2022. What Kentucky youth advocates want to see change.
This is Wave News Sunrise.
Good Wednesday morning. Okay, this is going to make you laugh. Look at this cute pig. Well, police in Corbin found this pig, and guess where it was spotted? It's crazy. It was found on Bacon Creek Road.
Shut up.
Yes, it is true.
He was planted there.
I know, right?
He had to have been.
So the department made a post about the pig on Facebook. They said, hey, we need to find the owner. Please hurry before the Corbin Fire Department gets hungry.
Oh, no. Oh,
yeah.
no.
No. He's so cute. Hopefully they'll find that owner. We just checked the Facebook page. Doesn't seem like they found the owner yet. Maybe someone will come and adopt it, but maybe they put a little hat on it, little vest.
Winston.
Yeah.
We should name him.
Of all places, though.
Bacon Creek Road. I'm surprised it's even a name.
I know, right? Kind of a weird name. Yeah. Good morning. It is on this Wednesday. I'm Shannon Kogan with meteorologist Jessica Dobson. As we're getting closer to that weekend, you made it to Hump Day, and it's going to get a little warmer.
Yes. As we get closer to the end of the week, temperatures only go up. So if you like the summer-like feel, and maybe your pool is still open, then you are going to be a very popular person, I feel like, as we head into this weekend, because it is going to feel a lot like summer. You can see lots of people heading out this morning from our live view from Spaghetti Junction, and lots of people hitting the roadways. No major delays in terms of the weather to report this time, but temperatures are feeling really nice. We're in the 40s, 50s for most of us, still in the 60s though for the metro. 61 degrees right now in Louisville, 48 though in Salem, Indiana, 49 in Jeffersonville, 54 in Eminence, 55 in Shelbyville, 55 as well in Fort Knox, 52 in E-Town, 54 in Lebanon to Campbellsville. So a couple of cooler spots, so I would recommend the jacket this morning. I don't think you want to be caught without it, but temperatures this afternoon, you won't need the jacket for that. I would recommend short sleeves and shorts because we're looking at a high of 86 degrees by later on this afternoon. A dry forecast too, and I think that's also helping traffic this morning. So far, so good in terms of the roadways. No major delays to report at this time. We are accident free, and of course, if that changes, we will let you know all throughout the rest of this morning. Shannon.
Thanks, Jessica. Happening today, LMPD is releasing that video showing the moments Officer Brandon Haley was shot. It happened just about 2 weeks ago during a traffic stop in the Chickasaw neighborhood in the early morning hours. And Wave News reporter Olivia Russell joining us live with the latest. Olivia?
Shannon, hours after that shooting, Chief Jacqueline Gwynn Beeler-Wells said there was body camera footage of the incident. She promised it would be released within 10 business days, and she's holding to that promise today with a news conference. Also at that news conference, she said they'll be reviewing LMPD's new policy on officer-involved shootings. Now, if you remember, a month ago, LMPD updated its policy. The first big change was for that body camera footage, which will be released within 10 business days. Another change, LMPD will be the lead investigative agency on the officer-involved shootings with some major changes and layers of oversight. Now, previously, officer-involved shootings were investigated by Kentucky State Police, but now those investigations will also be reviewed by a performance review board, Kentucky State Police, and the Office of the Inspector General. The chief said the new protocol provides greater transparency and establishes clearer guidelines for the entire investigative process. Those details and the body camera footage will be released at 2 o'clock today. I'll bring you the latest both on air and online. Live in Louisville, Olivia Russell, Wave News.
Thanks, Olivia. Well, many people are fed up with the conditions they're living in, and they're letting the Louisville Housing Authority know about it. The Wave troubleshooters were the first to bring you details of the conditions some people have been living in under the agency's watch. During Tuesday's meeting, tenants showed up. They demanded change from the Housing Authority as the mayor is now searching for a new leader of it. But they've been dealing with mold, peeling paint, roaches, mice, dirty carpet that hasn't been cleaned in decades. They say things need to change. Angeletta Johnson lives at Dosker Manor. She was at that meeting and described what she's had to deal with.
And they act like it ain't nothing. It's like it should be normal to you that you have feces coming in your shower. You know, it should be normal that you have mold growing in your apartment. That should be normal. You know, roaches are normal. Mice, I mean, I've caught 4 or 5 mice on 2 traps, you know, in a matter of 24-hour period.
She says she's hoping things will change, but does not think anything will happen. She says she's looking for resources so she can get out of Dosker Manor. Hardin County and Elizabethtown leaders say they could see a population boom in the next few years. A new report from the Hardin County Chamber of Commerce says the county's population will likely grow by more than 22,000 in the next few years. The report points to the Blue Oval SK battery plant in Glendale as a main driving force. E-Town's mayor says work to improve housing, schools, and health care needs to be done quickly.
So we are looking at ways that we can tackle those issues. We have developers that have been contacting us and coming in, and just in the past year and a half, or since the Blue Oval SK announcement, we're in the process somewhere from beginning to end with 4,000 different units already.
That battery plant is expected to open in 2025 and create 5,000 new jobs. States across the country have moved to decriminalize cannabis. However, Kentucky, one of 18 where cannabis is still criminalized. And according to a new report, more than 300,000 people in Kentucky have been charged with a cannabis-related crime in the last 2 decades. Experts say the arrests disproportionately impact Black Kentuckians.
There's no county in Kentucky that isn't dealing with this issue. We also found that this year there were 540 people incarcerated for cannabis-related offenses.
The Kentucky Center for Economic Policy report says of the 1.2 million people charged with a crime in Kentucky in a 2-decade period, 1 in 10 faced cannabis-related charges. New census data shows child poverty increased this past year. The report shows the rate more than doubled. Advocates say poverty and hunger can go hand in hand. Feeding America says more than 500,000 Kentuckians experience hunger. Kentucky Youth Advocates Executive Director Terry Brooks says the increase in child poverty injury can affect a child's health, school, their future, and says advocacy and policy could help.
These kind of ideas, like a child tax credit, continued support for child care, which is one of those things getting ready to fall off a cliff, a state level earned income tax credit. Those ideas all are proven notions. We know they will have a big impact in the immediate.
According to the data from the U.S. Census, NPR reported the child poverty rate is currently about 12%. LMPD received $15,000 worth of some new traffic safety equipment. It was donated from Kentucky Office of Highway Safety. So it includes some new radar guns, so you better watch out, breathalyzers, tools for targeting aggressive driving as well. This Saturday, we are invited to join Wave News as we ride to raise funds for injured LMPD officer Nicholas Wilt. He was shot responding to the Old National Bank mass shooting. This is going on at the Eagles Club in J-Town. More than 200 motorcycle riders will participate in this 20-hour ride. Registration starts at 10 at the Eagles Club, and the ride starts at noon. And at 2:30, everyone's invited for a free event with music, food, drinks, raffles, plus an auction. And Wave troubleshooter Natalia Martinez will MC the event with proceeds going to Nicholas Wilt and his family. For more information, just head to wave3.com. Here's Jessica taking a look at your Wednesday weather.
Yeah, for that school bus stop, for that school bus stop forecast, we're going to be expecting cool temperatures to start this morning. So, yeah, the jacket will be needed as you're stepping outside, but you'll be able to shed it for something much lighter, like the short sleeve shirt, the shorts, because temperatures by later on this afternoon, they're going to be topping out at 86 degrees for our high in the metro. But for the ride home for many kids, we're looking at the mid 80s just regardless. So it's going to be a warm day. Make sure they have the water bottle filled up, ready to go, because it's going to be a warm stretch, not only today, but into the next several days. I'll have a full check of that weekend forecast and beyond coming up in just a couple of minutes.
A group of siblings recently went viral thanks to a hair emergency. It took a big sister to save her little sister from a failed haircut. Who did that? Well, the third sister.
I told you right here. Why are you laughing? I told you not to do anything stupid. What have you done to my life? Well, that's cute. You look like Hermione from Harry Potter. If one goes down, we all go down. Because my mom has always taught us to stick together.
I love it. What have you done to my life?
The dramatics.
15-year-old. Look, be quiet. Oh, and tomorrow's picture day. This is crazy. 15-year-old Valentina Zamaripel of Mission, Texas, was doing her video blog when her sister said, hey, give me a pair of scissors. So, yeah, that's how it ended up. So maybe she can fix it a little bit. She did look just like the Harry Potter character.
That was pretty spot on. I want to see how the school photo turned out because
oh my goodness, that is going to be one to remember. School photos are never that great anyway.
That's so true. I mean, that's a great staple for it. Oh my goodness. I have many memories with me and my sister doing something like that. But we do want to talk about the forecast. I'll have a full check of that 10-day earliest alert coming up in just a couple of minutes. We'll be right back. Good morning and happy Wednesday. I'm wave meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast, and we're starting off the day on a bit of a cool note. Temperatures in the 60s right now within the metro, even the 50s for many spots. So the jacket, you'll want that as you step outside this morning because it is a little brisk, but 61 degrees right now at Muhammad Ali International. So not a terribly uncomfortable start to our day, but we're going to be warming up in a big way, not only today, but throughout the course of the next several days. So afternoon highs will be climbing today into the mid-80s, so above average to say the least. 86 degrees will be our high this afternoon. It's going to be feeling much more summer-like. We do expect some clouds overhead at times, so it won't be a crystal clear blue sky day. We've seen that over the last several. It's been such a great start to the week in terms of our temperatures and the sunshine, but we're going to be warming up. We look to stay quiet and dry. Temperatures, though, coming close to the 90s as we head into tomorrow and into our Friday especially. Friday will be the hottest day of the week, just in time for the last full day of summer. Saturday is actually our fall equinox, so it's going to be kind of our last gasp of the summer heat. And then we see rain chances finally make a return as we head into next week. But the timing of that we're still going to be kind of fine-tuning the details because the system that we've been watching has shown a lot of signs of slowing down, which is not the best news we want to hear because we need the rain. But we'll talk more on that in just a moment. But let's bring you outside first. Here's a live view from our downtown Louisville SkyTrack camera. You can see Spaghetti Junction. People are getting a head start in their morning. Lots of people outside and a little bit of sun beginning to peek up over the horizon too. But throughout the next couple of days, that 3-day forecast for you, you'll notice a trend. Tomorrow's going to be kind of a rinse and repeat type day. Maybe a few more clouds, just a hint. But 86 tomorrow as well. Overnight lows down into the 60s. So it's going to be a little more mild than what we've seen over the last couple of mornings. For our Friday, a high of 88. That is likely going to be the hottest day of this week and really throughout the next several days. But for Saturday, if you're going to be heading out to the U of L football game at L&N Stadium, it's the first home opener of the season, and the weather is going to be very cooperative. Yes, it'll be warm. 87 degrees is going to be our high. Thankfully, though, kickoff's at 3:30, so if you're going to be tailgating, I think we'll be in great shape. But otherwise, we'll just expect a kind of a warm day, a lot of sunshine. Make sure you have the sunscreen ready to go, and of course, lots of water too. We also have Louder Than Life. Many folks are going to be heading in town for this. Temperatures right around the mid-80s tomorrow again, but Friday is going to be the hot one, especially during the afternoon hours, obviously. So we'll expect hot temperatures through then, and then by Saturday and Sunday, we'll be climbing still into the mid-80s before that next round of rain arrives. We'll be right back with more Wave News in just a few minutes, but first, let's send it to Shannon.
All right, thank you, Jessica. So great weather for the Kicking Butt 5K on Saturday. This is such a terrific race, and it brings awareness about colon cancer. And here is the founder, Dr. Whitney Jones, and Executive Director Amanda Smart. So good to see you both this morning. And one of the things that people may not be aware of is the age for someone to be diagnosed with colon cancer. It's gone from, what did you say?
It used to be 50 forever. It was a rite of passage as an adult to be screened at age 50 for colon cancer for normal risk folks. But colon cancer has been increasingly being seen in younger people. And in fact, so much so that the American Cancer Society and all the national organizations dropped the screening age for normal risk people from 50 to 45, but only 1 out of 5 people is getting screened in that age group. So
I was going to say,
this is the awareness.
I had no idea about that.
That's what we're here for.
Wow. So I was screened after the age of 50. And let me just say, if you have never had a colonoscopy, there's nothing to be afraid of. It is the easiest thing in the world.
Absolutely. And there's lots of options for people who don't want to be screened with colonoscopy. There's take-it-home stool tests, and I'm sure everybody has seen those. But if you're average risk, you have a choice is the most important thing. So whether you're a little squeamish about the colonoscopy, there's other choices. So that's the important thing. But 45 is the age to be screened, not to start talking about screening, but to get your screening. Fascinating.
Okay, so Amanda, you had a history of colon cancer in your family, and that's why you decided to get involved with this group.
Yes, and I've met a lot of people that unfortunately have had colon cancer, and it just makes me really want to keep going. For a long time, yeah.
And you're going to honor one woman in particular at this year's 5K. She was diagnosed so young.
She was Meredith Potas, and she passed away at the same age that I am right now, 33 years old.
That is just so sad. Will her family be there?
They will. Her husband is actually going to be our speaker.
Oh, terrific. Okay, so this is going on Saturday. And what inspired you, Dr. Jones, to start this 20 years ago now?
Well, you know, I'm actually a pancreatic and biliary physician, so I used to see lots of terrible cancers that there were no solutions for. This is one of those that we do have a solution for. And one really important message, if you have polyps in your family, if you have colon cancer in your family, you need to start screening at 40 or even earlier. But you have to have that discussion with your doctor. But there's no age at which getting more information about how to prevent it or find it early matters. So we're moving education down into the 20s and 30s to make sure that these conversations happen across Kentuckiana.
So important. And let's talk about some of the symptoms. If someone is watching right now and saying, oh, I've had a stomach ache now for how long? What are some of these symptoms that you should be aware of? I see rectal bleeding, blood in stool, change in bathroom habits, constipation in the lower stomach, unexplained weight loss, or anemia. So how long do some of these symptoms need to be going on before someone calls a doctor?
Well, unfortunately, what we see is traditionally a long delay between the time a person recognizes the symptoms, almost 6 to 9 months, and the time they see a doctor. So what we really want to do is, if you're having these symptoms at all, there's never normal rectal bleeding. Right. So if you have it, you need to be letting someone, your healthcare provider, know, making that decision with them. But because colon cancer is elevated so much now in younger people, it's changed how we do it. I think everyone needs it and deserves to be have colon cancer excluded if they have any of these symptoms.
Absolutely. Okay, so go join those people on the walk and the run. It is a 5K taking place this Saturday, starts at 9 o'clock at Waterfront Park, but there are things you can do before 9 a.m. and it's just $30 to participate, and you are raising money for a great cause. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back. Here are the big stories happening today that we're watching in your Wake Up watch list. Today, police are set to release body camera footage from the shooting that left an LMPD officer critically injured. Officer Brandon Haley was shot September 7th while conducting a traffic stop in the Chickasaw neighborhood. He's still recovering. 4 people were arrested. They now face gun and drug charges. No one's been charged with shooting Officer Haley. That body cam video will be released this afternoon at 2. We'll let you know what it shows. A man accused of murder set to appear in court this morning. 30-year-old Jalen Forrest was arrested after police found a person dead on Broadleaf Drive Monday afternoon. LMPD went to the apartment. They found the man on the living room floor with serious injuries. He died. The coroner has not released his name. A Japanese restaurant in downtown Louisville will now be torn down. The city posted a notice of demolition on the building that had the restaurant Osaka. There was a 4-alarm fire on that building last week. It's on Market Street. The order says the building is unsafe. Arson investigators are still trying to figure out what caused it. MSD reports more than 100 complaints were called in over the weekend for that gross smell in Louisville. They're telling people keep reporting them. You can do that using an app on your phone called Smell My City or call MSD. But the app is collecting data, and hopefully that'll make the future smell a little bit better, right? We need the rain for that, but we're entering into a dry, hot time, right?
Yeah, all the way through the weekend, we're expecting a dry forecast, and we also see temperatures that are going to be very summer-like over the course of the next several days. So temperatures climbing into the mid-80s again today, tomorrow, nice and dry. Friday, though, a high of 88 degrees, and then by Saturday, 87 for the first official day of fall, 86 by Sunday, and then we finally begin to see some cooler temperatures, some more fall-like weather, even for the afternoon hours, not just during the mornings, but we'll expect those rain chances to build back in as well with the passing cold front. It will be kind of dissipating, though, and it might stall out, so that could lead to rain chances sticking around for a few days, but that would be good news for us. Hopefully we can get some substantial, much-needed rain. And I do want to give you a quick check of the roadways just because we are accident-free still so far so good. A couple of delays on Bardstown Road, but that's pretty typical of this time of morning, so we'll continue to watch that and keep you posted if there are any sort of major crashes or delays through the rest of the morning. But hey, it's going to be a nice start to the morning at least. It's just going to be a little warm.
Yeah, and there's just a study out that says the best time to work out, to lose weight, is between the hours of 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Interesting.
So let's put on our running shoes and get out there.
I'll leave that to you.
Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Get live streaming news, 24-hour weather, investigations, podcasts, and more. All for free with Wave Now. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and the Wave News app.